So for today, Family Forum is spiritual temperature in our families and homes. Let's start with a quick word of prayer. Holy Spirit of God, we welcome you to our midst. We say thank you, Lord, for giving us the opportunity to deliberate on this topic. We ask that, Lord, use this topic to improve us, to increase us in your kingdom, and at the end of it, Lord, let us move closer to you and your kingdom in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. So what are we talking about today? Is spiritual temperature in our homes. And a good introduction to this is, I'll give you my own personal experience. When I was coming to Canada, my uncle called me and said, look, say all your prayers in Nigeria, because when you come to a place like Canada, they don't pray. And there's a very reduced spiritual activity in homes and families. So I said, okay, I'll get to Canada and I'll see what's happening there. And today we can see, from all around us, you look around us and we see what is happening here. The demon we have in Canada and in Western world is actually the demon that suppresses our knowledge of Christianity. So what we are battling with here and what we are going to discuss today is what are the things that have disconnected us from our spiritual lives, and how are we going to help ourselves and deal with these issues. So one of the things I have here is, back in Nigeria, back in my country, and I'll be using my country, Nigeria, for a lot of examples. There's this fear of unknown. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. You are scared. There's so much uncertainty. The government cannot help you. Your fellow family cannot help you. And you are left on your own. You don't know exactly what the future holds for you. But here, you can easily tell that by this time tomorrow, the hospital is going to call me for a medical check. I don't have to run around. By this time, you can easily predict here. So back in Nigeria, you have to pray. That is one of the things that draws us to, prayer and our Christian life, that improves our Christian life in Nigeria. So, a question to you is, are we going to say, because now, I've been gifted with an interpreter. Okay, so are we going to ask this question to ourselves that because we are now in Canada, we should stop praying about, a future?
Donc, on doit se poser la question si c'est parce qu'on est au Canada qu'on va arrêter de prier pour le futur.
And the uncertainty of our future.
Et l'avenir incertain.
So, I need someone to please give us a hint. Should I say, because now I don't have any fear, I'm not afraid of any armed robber, entering into my house, unlike when I was in Nigeria.
Donc, quelqu'un m'attend donner des indices. Est-ce que c'est parce que ici, j'ai pas peur des gens qui peuvent s'introduire dans la maison?
Does that stop me from being more spiritual?
Que cela m'empêche d'être plus spirituel?
Okay.
Quelqu'un peut intervenir?
For me, I say, I wake up in the morning here and I ask myself, what problem do I have in Canada?
Ici, moi je me demande, quand je me réveille le matin, je me demande quel problème j'ai au Canada.
Is it that coming to Canada is an answer to the prayers I prayed in Nigeria?
Est-ce que venir au Canada était une prière pour réponse aux prières que j'ai faites au Nigeria?
I tell myself, if I fall sick,
je me dis, si je tombe malade,
I have free medical care.
J'ai les soins gratuits.
I can leave my door open.
Je peux laisser ma porte ouverte.
But back at home,
Mais là-bas au Nigeria,
I have burglaries all over the windows.
il y a des
The metal window.
des portes métalliques, des barrières métalliques.
Even the door, I have double door. I have one in
Même pour
front
les portes, il y en a double.
and the one before you enter.
Il y en a un à l'entrée et puis à l'autre.
And then on top of all that, I now add prayers again.
Et en plus de tout ça, je dois prier encore.
But here, you can leave your door open
Mais ici, tu peux laisser ta porte ouverte
and you don't need to pray.
et tu n'as pas besoin de prier.
Nobody will come in.
Personne ne viendra.
And if they come in,
Et même s'ils viennent,
I dial 911
je fais le 911.
and I can even go back to bed
Et je peux même
after dialing
au
911.
lit après le 911.
The police will take care of it.
La police s'en occupe.
So automatically, I pray less
Automatiquement, je prie moins
in Canada.
au Canada.
So can somebody please help me?
Quelqu'un peut m'aider
How can I improve? How can I change my mindset?
à savoir comment je peux changer ma mentalité?
Okay? You have a very quiet.
On est tous calmes ce matin.
No contributions.
Il n'y a pas de contribution.
This is a very, very.
Somebody said the question again.
Okay. I'm asking that. What do I do with my spiritual life
Qu'est-ce que je
when
fais avec ma vie spirituelle?
I'm in an environment where I don't have to depend on prayers to get things done?
Quand je vis quelque part où je n'ai pas besoin de la prière pour que les choses avancent.
And what I mean by that is that coming from Nigeria, I use prayers to attack everything.
Venant du Nigeria, j'utilisais la prière pour attaquer toutes choses.
And address everything.
Et ça règle beaucoup de choses.
But here, those things are automatically addressed for me.
Mais ici, tout est pris en charge pour moi.
My security is taken care of.
Ma sécurité,
My health is taken care of.
ma santé.
So the prayers I need to pray, I found out they are reduced.
Donc les prières que j'avais besoin de prier, je vois qu'ils sont réduites maintenant.
So what do I have to do? I really want to pray, but I look around, there's nothing to pray for.
Qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Je regarde autour de moi, il n'y a rien pour lequel je dois prier.
Okay, we have the contribution. Yeah.
I think it's a mindset thing.
C'est une question de mentalité.
Praise the Lord. I think this is a mindset thing. I've never believed there is an environment that will tells you that you have to limit your prayer.
Je ne pense pas qu'il y ait un environnement qui me dit que je dois limiter mes
Back
prières.
home in Nigeria, truly we might have one or two issues
Au Nigeria,
that
on
maybe
a peut-être
you
des
have to,
problèmes de voix.
even though when you have say police security around you, it's not even sufficient enough for your security.
Même avec la
But nevertheless, this is a spiritual thing. It's quite deep. When you look at it in the spiritual realm, it's quite
On
different
regarde ensemble dans le monde spirituel, c'est autre chose.
when you think about what is happening in the world today. I think it's a mindset. To me, I don't need to. I don't need to attach my prayer life to what is in the environment.
Pour moi, je n'ai pas besoin
You have to have it at the back of your mind that this, I have to pray early in the morning. Pray. At least we all have a list of prayer requests. And most likely in Nigeria, I think one of the major things that we are thinking of is that we do pray much more when we are in problem than when things are really setting. Even those people that are rich in Nigeria, if you see the way they pray in the church, it's quite different to the way poor people pray. So the same thing is here. So if you have the same mindset in Nigeria that as a rich man, you need to pray to God, you need to ask God for, you have to be thanking God at all time even when you are rich. Then when you are in the Western world as well, where things are already automatically in place for you to have, then you should continue praying to God, because only God knows when the prayer is going to be useful for you. You might not know. there is no amount of prayer that waste. Praise the Lord.
Donc là-bas au Nigeria, même si les choses vont bien, la personne qui est riche doit prier, faire des prières d'action de grâce.
That was a nice response.
C'est une bonne réponse, merci.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Gloire à Dieu.
I think it's just an indication of the amount of love we have for God. The love we have for God should not be conditional. Whatever happens, I mean, Paul said, who shall separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus? So if the love we have for God, I mean, our prayer life, our hunger for the word, and fellowship with brethren are indicators of the love we have for God.
Donc tout cela dépend de l'amour que nous avons pour Dieu.
By the time we get to another environment and these things begin to dwindle, it simply shows what we have for God was conditional. And we should really pray, whoever is in that condition, to pray, Lord, please give me a true love for you. Give me true love for you. We can see in the life of David. Eventually, God described David as a man after his heart. David was a shepherd. He loved God. He was in the, wherever he was with the sheep, his father's sheep, he loved God. When he became king, now living in the palace, he was taken from the bush or whatever he was, and he was brought to the palace to become the king. He still loved God. So, our love for God should not be dependent on, and that's why God was able to say, I have found in him, God described a man after my own heart. So, if anyone who is in that condition should simply know, listen, the love I have for God is not enough. Like, at times, initially, like what you said, a lot of times in churches, you see a lot of our brethren in churches, they cannot afford to go late to work. It is impossible. Some of them will even be at work 5 minutes before the time. But you see people coming to church 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes late. These are indications of the love we have for God. There was a time on this issue I was meditating, and the Spirit of God said to me, now listen, I think I was in one country, if the president of this country invited you and gave you an appointment, there is no way you'll be late. If the president said, come in at 10 o'clock, I want to meet you, a lot of us will probably be there 9:30. But when the King of Kings gives us an appointment, and we just stroll in as if nothing is happening or God understands, we should really ask God for true love, and that is the way to it. God help us. Thank you.
Okay, we'll still take more. We are coming back to that issue of being late to church, especially we are going to be very practical about the situation here in Maranatha. So let's have a conversation.
Praise the Lord. It is a very important question that we have at hand right now. And we need to understand one thing. What is our relationship with God? The Bible was not written for Nigeria, and it wasn't written for any part of the world. It was written for all.
C'est quoi notre relation avec Dieu? La Bible n'était pas écrite juste pour le Nigeria, mais pour tout le monde entier.
It was written for every situation.
Pour toutes les situations.
That will come our way in this journey of life.
Et que nous allons rencontrer.
And that is why when you look at the Bible in the 1 Thessalonians 5 from verse 16 down, 1 Thessalonians 5:16 down is, it says, rejoice evermore. Whether the situation is bad or the situation is good, always rejoice.
Dans le livre de Thessaloniciens, la Bible nous demande de nous réjouir tout le temps, peu importe la situation.
Because God does not want us to lose our joy to any situation that comes our way.
Il ne veut pas qu'on perde la joie pour toute situation qui vient sur notre.
That is why we have that word there. And the second one says, pray without ceasing. That is 1 Thessalonians 5:17. He's saying that whether the condition is good or the condition is bad, continue to pray to God. Because prayer, the way we look at it, many Christians do not understand what prayer is all about. Prayer is not about our what needs to be done that we need to present to God. It's not about God's, this is my need and I want you to do it now for me. Our prayer life is our relationship. It indicates our relationship with God. It's the time that we spend with God to commune with one another. But many of us don't understand what prayer is, and that is why when we get to an environment that is comfortable, we lose the power to pray.
Beaucoup ne comprennent pas l'importance de la prière.
Because we are not challenged by maybe power failure. We are not challenged by lack of water. We are not challenged by lack of food. So many of us will lose the power to pray because our priority has been that God needs to fulfill this request for me. That's why we pray. But prayer goes beyond meeting the needs of our life.
La prière va au-delà de la demande.
Prayer goes beyond meeting the needs of our life. It's our relationship with God.
C'est notre relation avec Dieu.
You know, those who wrote the Bible, they wrote it because they are communing with God.
Ceux qui ont écrit la Bible l'ont écrit parce qu'ils communiquent avec Dieu.
And they hear from God.
Ils parlaient à
And what they
Dieu.
hear from
Ils
God
l'entendaient.
is what they put down for us. So that we also can continue to live the life that they live, listening unto God. The whole Bible is for us to live a life that is pleasing to God. It is not for our own immediate benefit. Oh, someone offended me. Oh God, you must kill my enemy. You must. It is not about killing your enemy. The Bible says, if your ways are pleasing unto God, He will make even your enemy to be at peace with you. So, and that is the reason why whether we are in an environment that is good or an environment that is bad, our relationship with God has to be unchanged.
Doit être pareil, il ne doit pas changer. Que Dieu vous bénisse.
He has answered this. We have one question there, please. Here.
Praise the Lord. First of all, I would like to say there is no sure security anywhere in the whole world. And I'm saying it because my brother, when he was talking, mentioned about back home in Nigeria, where people, would bombard anywhere they live with heavy doors and things like that. So I want to clarify one point, that there is no security anywhere in the world. Where security is certain is in the Lord. And I would like to say another second point is that we should always know exactly who we are. Anywhere we find ourselves, it's so important to know who we are. If I may quote from Ephesians 6:12, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness of high places." So these powers are everywhere. Whether we are in Nigeria, whether we are here in Canada, things might appear rosy, things might appear, easy for us in terms of education, in terms of the health insurance and things like that. But that's not the ultimate. The ultimate is that all this power, they exist everywhere we go. So if we hear that in our mind, we have every reason to pray to the Lord at all time, at every point of our life. So we cannot just divorce, that fact that we need to be attuned with the Lord at all times. There are a lot of reasons why we need to do that. And that's my contribution. Thank you.
The whole idea Satan wants to use is to separate us from our God. No matter what, he wants to separate us from our God. Whether in Nigeria, whether in Canada. And prophesying, Jesus says, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many. At that time, many will turn away from the faith. And because of the increase of badness and wickedness and lawlessness, the love of most will grow cold. And that is what is happening to us in Canada, including me here. It happens to everybody. The love we have for God has gone cold. We are in a situation where everything is done for us now, so we don't care anymore. So that love has gone cold. But if we intensify our love for each other, renew our relationship and make it stronger, then we will want to speak to our Father constantly. Now remember Baba, when he tried to get the children of God, one way or the other he couldn't find it. It was difficult for him to penetrate them. So what did he do? He decided to use women. What they are vulnerable to is what he used. And he finally succeeded. So whatever Satan will use to darken that relationship between us and our Father, that is what he's going to use. Now, call it whatever. You come to Canada, everything is going good. And then your love for the Father has diminished. So what we are saying here is, let us intensify our love. When there is love between two people that are in a relationship, then it is easier to communicate. It is much easier to communicate. Whether in the love relationship it is nice and sweet, there's no problem, we still communicate because we love each other. Oh, you're looking good. Oh, you are a faithful person. Oh, this and that. Some praises we pour upon the people because we love them. But if that love cools off, like for instance, you've been married for 20, 40 years, and then all of a sudden you take each other for granted. This is what is happening to us in Canada here. We've taken our God for granted. If there is trouble today, if there is a big trouble today, and they say there is a church program for prayer tomorrow, this place will be filled up. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Am I making sense? Our Jigo was saying it too. He says he was in trouble. He had problems. That is why he ran to God. Everybody runs to him when they have trouble. When the trouble is over, then we forget that love that we have for him. So let's grow in that love. Let's intensify it. You come to this part of the world, as soon as you come, Satan knows that you live in that part of the world. Now what he's going to use to get you here is something that is new to you, that looks good. I was telling my teachers yesterday, my little girl was playing soccer, and she's going on in front to score the goal. The ball was in front. You know what she did? Somebody behind her fell down. She left the ball, came back to the girl. I said, "Oh, are you alright?" And she picked her up, and she helped her to pick her up. That is Canada for you. So the good part of it will affect us. Huh? Of course. But what she's there for is to score goal, but she's no, that is not important. Because that is her set mind, that is how she's brought up. This is what Canada has done. This is what it is doing to us. The good thing about them, we must copy because it is good. But we must not forget our spirituality. That we must love our Father. And if we love our Father, we want to communicate. Praise the Lord. We are taking 3 more.
Nous prenons 3 questions.
Okay.
3 autres questions.
Praise the Lord. I just have 2 contributions. I think the purpose for which we do a thing is important. Why am I doing this? Why am I praying? Why, and what is it that I'm doing? So the question is, prayer, is it just to ask for needs.
La prière, c'est
No.
juste pour poser.
Prayer is worship. Prayer is seeking the face of the Lord. Prayer is seeking the face of the Lord, not only for yourself. There's a verse in the Bible that says, now let prayers be made for nations, for kings, for men that are in authority. So maybe if we think that we're done, we're so set and we don't need prayers, please pray for others. Pray for people that are challenged. Pray for people that are going through one difficult time or the other. And if we look around us, there are many reasons why we should pray. So it might not be that for me, it might not be security. Maybe my need may be something else. And oftentimes, the Spirit of the Lord, today the pastor was sharing at the workers' meeting, it's not in the fire, it's not in the noise. It's a still small voice in us. If the Spirit of God is leading us, it will begin to nudge us, even in our workplaces. Pray. Pray. Do we yield? Do we then at that point? There's no place on earth where the Spirit of God is not. He said now the building of God is this body. So when God is speaking to us, are we ignoring Him? I think that's really one of the conversations we should have here. Are we ignoring God? Are we still in tune with Him? Are we still listening? Are we like children that are listening to the voice of God? When we go astray, the shepherd brings us back. He guides us. Are we still doing what He's asking us to do? There are times when we are tired. There are times when we don't feel like doing stuff. But God will say, you have to. He wakes us in the middle of the night to pray. Do we pray? Or do we go, Pastor said it. When we wake up in the morning, we make a decision. Do I come to church or do I not? These are real practical issues we need to address here today. When there is time for digging deep, I will mention that today. Digging deep, do we come or do we not?
Sorry.
Praise the Lord.
I don't want you to let the cat out of the bag. We are still coming to that. Okay, please start. Okay, before we take the last question.
Yeah, I want to say, because she said it all. What I want to say, we can't compare back home to Canada. Somehow. When you arrive here, you will treat the first at first 4 years. Like, I don't know what to do. Where am I going to start? Where am I going to do? But what can help you is only prayer. That's when they organize prayer something in the church. We need to come. It's not just because of the church, just because of us. Just to improve ourselves and just to move up closer to God again. Because the people that you met here, they know, because they have the experience already. That's why they call. Come, sitting down at home, working out like a man, I got to make the money, I got to do this, will not take us to anything. Because the Pastor says, pray without ceasing. It doesn't say pray in the morning or pray when you come to church. Pray all the time. Even as you are walking, you can communicate to God. You don't have to lay down or something. There's a way you can communicate to Him and He will hear you. But moreover, that's the purpose of the church, the program that they organize. You just need to come to boost ourselves.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I think everybody has contributed positively. Hallelujah. If we can look at the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 2. The Bible says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. What is he trying to say? Whether you are at home, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Honolulu, do what? Preach the word. No matter the situation. Whether it is summer, whether it is winter. Our pastor said, 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18. He said we should do what? Pray without ceasing. We should not stop. Also in 1 Timothy 4:13, The Bible says, hallelujah. Are you there? First Timothy.
Like give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
Simple. He said, till I come. Give attendance to exhortation. Pray. You have to pray what? Always. We don't have to stop because I'm in Canada, because I'm in Paris or wherever. I will not pray again. I will not. I have always said it. Sometimes when I minister, I tell them that sin is sin. The Bible says in the book of Hebrews 13:8, Jesus, the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same way sin is sin yesterday. Sin is also sin today. And sin is also sin tomorrow. So wherever you go, if you don't fear God, you don't honor God. You live in sin, you are still committing sin wherever you are. God bless you.
We have the last person there.
Praise the Lord. I want to tell everyone who really contributed because they impacted my life in one way or the other. I wish to add something to what they said. And I would like us to refer to the book of Romans 12, verse 2. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that he may prove that he is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The reason why we cease to pray is because we have been conformed to the things of the world. If you conform to the things of the world, and the things of the world are satisfied in your life, you will stop to pray. Because everything in the world that you need, you have. You were in Nigeria, in Cameroon, wherever you were praying to God, Father, change my life. Transform my life in this world. God transform your life and brought you in a better place. And when you come there, you feel that you are satisfied because you are thinking of the things of the world. You stop to pray. But the Lord is telling us that we should not be conformed to the things of the world. Because the Bible clearly tells us that we are here as strangers. We are passengers into this world. We did not come here to stay. But so what we should even be thinking of is our soul, our spiritual life. Where are we going to go after the body has been satisfied? After your water has been supplied, your security that human being has given you is already exhausted. You have it. How about the security tomorrow after your life here on earth? Where is the soul going to be? And so we are praying. We stop praying because we think that the physical world, the body, is satisfied. But if we put at the back of our mind that what we should be praying for is the soul tomorrow, the everlasting life in heaven, hell or heaven, that is when we will know that prayers is indeed, we have to pray without ceasing. And our sister over there rightly said, if we have all these things, how about our brothers and sisters who are still suffering? And like the book of Romans 15 verse 1 says, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak. If we think that we are strong, let's bear the infirmities of the weak. And not to please ourselves. We also have to pray for others, as she rightly said. So it's not only about us. Your sisters who are still back home, are they still in good condition the way you are here? Pray for them. Hallelujah. So in a nutshell, let's pray for our souls and not just for our body.
Thank you, everybody that contributed. I think we have thoroughly trashed that issue. However, I still have some questions in this line. And I do technical things. And there was a time I was working on something with a colleague. And we've been trying to fix this thing for a while. It wasn't working. And what I do everywhere I work is under my breath. I say, Lord, take control. I just say, look, Lord, take control of this thing, because everybody is waiting for you to fix it, for it to work. It's not just the people in your immediate team. So the people globally, they are waiting for this thing to work. I said, look, I don't know this thing, Lord, take care, take control. So I was fixing this issue with a friend, with a colleague, and I said, this thing will work in Jesus' name. And he said, no, please don't bring that here. I think I spoke subconsciously that it will work in Jesus' name. But he said, look, don't bring it. Jesus is not an IT person. He's not technical. Why are you bringing Jesus? Let's call the people that we feel can solve this thing. I didn't want to argue, so I said, okay, no problem. But subsequently, I realized that when I want to say, Lord, take control under my prayer, I control myself. And I realized that this is gradually, if I'm not careful, it's killing that faith in me, and it's affecting me. When I want to do anything in the office, I'm careful not to mention Jesus. Because the people around me, they look at me and they say, we can't see any evidence that Jesus is helping anybody. We don't call Jesus on Sunday, we don't go to church, but things are very okay for us. Why do you have to bring Jesus or God into your work? And they give simple examples. If you were in Nigeria and your car breaks down on the road, you'll be there for 5 hours, everybody will be passing. Nobody will stop. But here in Canada, your car will break down. People that don't call Jesus will park on the road and they'll help you. So it's giving the Canadians or the Western world a strong ground to argue the fact that Jesus is not really, that Jesus cannot help you. So for me, I want to ask you a question. Based on what I have explained now, how can I stop my mindset from being impacted by this environment? Because the environment is trying to force me to keep quiet, not to call Jesus, not to call God. And gradually, I realized, for example, I was saying it in our meeting yesterday, back in my country, when you have your birthday, my team, we pray for you. That's the first thing we'll do, the birthday party. In the office, we pray for the person. But here, when we want to have someone's birthday in the office, there's nothing like that. And then I spoke with a friend. They were having his birthday in the office. They said they were praying. I'm asking, why are you praying? And then I realized that, look, this thing has affected me. The system has actually, has reoriented my mindset. So how can we, get this out of the way? I mean, especially when we talk about the impact on our mindset. I hope I've been able to explain that situation. We have someone at the back.
Praise the Lord. I think the best thing to do is you don't need to run away from them, and you don't allow what they do to you or what they said to change your orientation and your belief. There is something that they believe here in Canada, especially in the Western world. They believe that they believe in your own belief. They actually want everybody to have a freedom in whatever he or she believes. And that alone, when you have it, it's like you have a freedom of, you have the right to preach the word. The only thing somebody needs to use on that kind of thing is that the strategy you need to use to let them know about Jesus. Because it's an avenue for people in that position, or for us as a child of God, to preach the word. It's not easy. There is a lot of ways you can preach the word. It's not until when you carry your microphone and you started going around the street, or started moving from one house to the other. When you make them your friends, you invite them for lunch. Then from there you'll be able to be telling them the story. Number 2 is testimony. You tell them about the testimony of things that Jesus has done. We have a lot of videos out there, in social media, where we can see a lot of miracles. There's a lot of ways you chip it in. You are the one in that position. You should be able to know what is the best strategy to use to convince these people that Jesus is alive. You don't allow their behavior to bring you down. If you go very close to these people, you will know that they themselves, they have something that they believe in. They have something that they believe in for themselves. And for this, in this kind of situation, I think number 1 thing that we need to do is we just have to make them our friends, and we have to find the best way that we can introduce Jesus into their life.
Please, if we can keep our contribution to just a minute or 2.
Praise God. I'll give you 2 responses to the question you asked. First is this. The only way for you to stay in the world or be motivated, not losing faith, is to bury yourself in the word of God. Because that's the only defense you have. If it is in Nigeria, I would say that the word of God is like your booster card that will energize you to move forward. The example you said about what happened in your workplace, I must tell you that opening was for you to evangelize the word of God, but you didn't use that effectively, because if in your subconsciousness that you said at times in the name of Jesus this will work, and somebody played down it, that's an opportunity, that's an opening for you to tell that person more about Jesus, that he's the chief technician, that he's the chief IT of anything, that he's the chairman of all. But in the same vein, you can still make them your friend, invite them, give them the church website to log in and worship once in a while. Thank you.
Thank you. We have just one more contribution, at the back there.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so in the workplace here, we do know that it kind of becomes almost impossible for you to actually openly evangelize. So the question for us as children of God is, and I know I've prayed that prayer before, God give me the wisdom on the way and manner in which to do it. That it's, you're not going against the law, but at the same time, you're still able to minister. Okay? I'll use an example, and it's very close to what my brother said. So I intentionally decided I would take somebody from my office to the metro. So okay, like she didn't have a car and we were to leave around the same time. So I figured I can give her a lift to the metro on purpose, so that I can talk to her about, the things of God. And the minute I did that, do you know, the next time I offered to take her to the metro, she said, no, I'm good. Praise the Lord. So we see it, and for us, let's not forget, we tend to have emotions. You get to a point where you begin to say, oh, I need to, I don't know whether, or I don't know what to do or what not to do. And I think that's the essence of this forum. Iron sharpened iron, where to now look for means and ways. So the next time I saw her alone at lunch, I went and sat with her and we started talking. And I gave her an example. She was writing a book. I used her book You know, as an example, I said, oh, do you know there was a time I got a song and I didn't really know what to do with it. And yeah, it's a true story. Because she was stuck. She was at a point where she didn't know what to do with at the next stage of her book. And I said, I sang this song all the way to the office, but I could not remember the tune. I just wrote down the words. That when I showed it to Brade, when I showed it to him, he took the song, he owned it, he sang, he gave it a tune, and we sang it in the choir. Praise the Lord. So that, do you know that, you know, like in the church and in the choir, you know, later she came to meet me, she said, thank you for sharing that story with me. It really, you know, like impacted her. So I'm saying that for us as children of God, we can't give up. We can't afford to give up, because as human beings we tend to recall. And maybe if you're like me, if I notice a resistance, I want to, you know, go in my shell. But we find that God will still give us opportunities to be able to minister. The other flip side to what you said is not for the other people, it's for us ourselves. How is it that when my sister came, she said she now started going in buses, she challenged me. That before I will have a car in Nigeria and I would want to go in the bus because I wanted to evangelize. The question is, why is it that I'm not doing it anymore? When I first came to this church, I would want to go from the beginning of this streets. I want to drop this stuff in their boxes. Praise the Lord. Now I don't do it anymore. I think those are the things we should ask ourselves. Why? Praise the name of God.
Okay. I want us to go a bit in our lives. And one of the things which we identified here is, I think we have too many entangled, social entanglement, or I mean, if I can use that word. We have sports for the kids. We have recreation here, recreation there, and I think it's taking some of our time, which I believe we should have for God. Some of us don't attend some programs because we need to go for recreation. We have an appointment with the coach. We have an appointment with the lesson teacher here, lesson teacher there. And I want us to talk about how we can, balance this. Where can we find the balance between the expectations we have, the expectation that the church has from us, or rather that God has from us, and our own recreational endeavors. So how can we balance it out? Nobody is saying we shouldn't be social, the kids should not go for sports, should not go for whatever lessons. But I believe if it is impacting too much in our spiritual life, we should have a balance. How can we go about this?
For every year we go to a convention, whether it is the men's fellowship or whatever we went to. My brother said, the pastor can testify to that. That is my question. In Nigeria, if I don't have the money, there is a niece, a nephew, somebody that is staying with me. I don't have time to take care of the child. They are here. But here, one day, my wife's brother called. He said, oh, where is Chief? I want to talk to Chief. I said, oh, he's washing dishes. What? The whole Nigeria came to visit. What is she doing? Why is Chief washing dishes? This is the environment we're in now. Now, if I'm busy washing dishes, and back home it is the time for me to go to service, go to evangelism. or do something for God. And now I am washing dishes. So this takes the loss out of our life. And I've been asking the question. Every men fellowship question, I ask that question. But the answer keeps coming. Put it into prayer. Let the Holy Spirit. Because they can't make you choose between the service and your children, and then you abandon one for the other. You have to find a way to compromise it. So when you do it and you are happy, then you're alright. But sometimes, my brothers and sisters, it is difficult. It is very, very difficult. So please, if we have an answer, a magic answer to this today, please bring it. I am here. I want to hear too.
Praise the Lord. I know it's a little bit challenging. But one thing that we advise any parents to do is when you want to register your child for any event, let them know that your Sunday is sacred and that you can't afford to bring the child. That if there is anyone that can volunteer to pick the child for any event on Sunday, that you really appreciate it. And I can tell you that you will see a lot of people that says, okay, don't worry, I'll pick him up on Sunday. So I can do it for you. So that's number one way out. Number two way out is that you will pray to God to give your son or your daughter that talent, that gift, that will make a difference in their life. That without your child, they will always feel that they are not complete as it is. So once they understand that this child is going to miss, they themselves will volunteer to come and pick your son. And number three is that once your child is over the age of 13, where he can go out by himself, train your child to be independent. Amen? I am where I am today because I follow those principles. My last son plays soccer. He's not here today. Most of the time, it's Sunday that they do their thing. As soon as he was 30 years old, we started training him how to enter the metro from one place to another. And by God's grace today, when we are coming to church, he has his own game at 10:30. We say, okay, we see you. And he's going to find his way from home to the venue, find his way back home at the end of the day. Amen? Amen. So, that way you are not forfeiting your own spiritual obligation. At the same time, you are not denying the child the privilege to participate in what he loves or what she loves to do. So these are the ways out from all these jams that we find ourselves. And I can tell you that majority of the time on Friday when they have a game, they know me because I told them first, I said I'm a priest and I don't have time to bring this child when I have a program. So he's going to tell you when I can bring him, and it can arrange for someone to pick him up. And because I always pray that there will be a different maker in his team, they can't do without it, so they will always organize someone to come and pick him. So these are ways that we can, have our faith, and at the same time of our children.
Thank you. Something important. I want to say something important. All the parents in our parish now have younger children. The law now says you must be there with your child as a parent. If because I'll tell you something. My little daughter was playing and she just fell down and she sat down there. And I went to her. I said, "Are you alright?" All she wanted was to see me and coach her. The coaches know that. The association knows that. They're not going to be responsible for your younger children. Yes, at 13, 14, 15, I don't go to his game sometimes. He goes on his own. But when they are younger, and this is what we have in church now, so we want to know how we deal with it. And God help us that if our child goes to play by themselves and something happens, we're not there. And if they're too young, they need their parents to carry them. Praise the Lord. So let's think of that area.
We have one person to start. Okay. Okay. So we have just one. We'll take just one more person. Okay. Please make it very brief. So
yeah, I think we'll share with them. I just want to say something out of it. Just like he said, most of us parents, we do have a younger children. Okay. And how do we play about it? Okay. I think the father is not the only one that brings out the baby. We have the father. I'm saying this because sometimes most of the women will just say, oh, it's plenty, you just have to go. And if care is not taken, you can see that the father will have to tell himself in so many places, going there. So I'm using this opportunity to tell the mother to please think and share this so that the law will not be on the that's what I was saying.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be a contribution. The other part of the issue is not just getting those children there. It's about what about their own spiritual life too. What happens to them if every Sunday we always allowing them to go? How do they learn things? I mean, it happened. I have a child too that has to do that. So the main issue is how do we create the balance? We have to ensure that we always let them know that football, soccer, all those things must not be the priority. There are times when you allow them to go on that Sunday, but there are other times when we don't allow them to, depending on the importance of whatsoever they want to do there. Because it has to sink into them that just keeping church services because of soccer is not the ultimate. It's like there are times when it might even that soccer may want to interfere with their schoolwork. Let them know that one of them has priority. It's not soccer that is priority over schoolwork, and it's not going to be priority all the time. There are times when they will have to go. I'm not saying they will not have to go on Sunday sometimes, but there are times when we don't also allow them to go. So we have to ensure that the balance is there.
If we are not very careful, we will lose the spiritual part and we will lose the educational part as well. Because you don't engage them in sports, and then they fall back when it comes to the sports. And then even in the spiritual aspect, you don't bring them to the church often, and then they fall back spiritually. So if you are not careful, we will not be able to. I'm not sure we'll be able to take any more. I'm very sorry. We already have the mic. Okay. Please keep it to 30 seconds if possible.
In this situation, I think while it was very, very brief, I think it has to do with the family altar. Our family altar, we go a long way to prevent that situation. What are we doing about our family altar? If we take our family altar, mixing church activities, at least we compense.
Si on manque des activités à l'église, on doit compenser. Il y a l'hôtel à la maison.
Okay. 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 It seems we have not tracked this issue well enough for us. Okay. Let's have him and Pam. Please keep it to 30 seconds if possible.
Thank you. I think the first thing is, I'll just give us two scriptures. The first thing Jesus says, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all in himself. So the first thing is the love of God has to be paramount on our heart. And the other way to go about this is ask for wisdom. The Bible says, if any has wisdom, let him ask. If we have the Spirit of God in us, the Spirit of God will give us wisdom to take some steps that are even beyond our own imagination. The Bible says, Solomon asked for wisdom and God gave him wisdom and he was able to be at peace with the king called Hiram. So there are situations that might appear difficult, but we should not underrate the power of wisdom. The Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. So there are some things that God might give you wisdom to tackle this matter, and might give my brother wisdom to tackle it in another way. And at the end of the day, the name of the Lord is glorified, and the love, our love for God and our service for God will still not be affected. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'll make it very quick. This addition actually touched what I was going to say, but I'll go deeper. I believe that Sunday is the day of the Lord, and the Bible also says that it's the Sabbath day and we should keep it holy. I grew up understanding that nothing touches your Sunday, and I want to do that. Even the Bible made it clear that Sunday, even if you have slaves or you have anyone under your authority, the person shouldn't work on Sunday. So it's important. I'm new to this environment, to the Western world, so I really can't say, deeply how it works here. But it's important that we keep Sundays holy. So, if you come to church and your child is not in church, you're not inviting in that child the understanding that his Sunday, when he grows into an adult, his Sunday should be kept holy. So, as our brother also said that if it's possible that the child can go on Saturday or any other day of the week, but it's important that every child, anybody under your authority should know that the Sunday should be kept holy and it should only be for the Lord. Anything he wants to do after church hours, he can do or she can do. But during church hours, that child must be in church. Thank you.
We'll be going to a completely different thing now. I think it's better for us to go. I know we haven't thoroughly trashed it, but I think it's because of time, it's better for us to go into something else. And what we want to talk about now is something that is quite important for us and for the church. And I'm not sure I need to say much about it. We all know how things have been going on within this church. And the question I want to ask today is, the first question is, what exactly do we expect from the church?
Qu'est-ce que nous espérons vraiment, nous attendons d'une église?
That Maranatha Chapel is not provided.
Que l'église Maranatha n'est pas providée.
I want everybody to be very sincere.
Il faut que chacun soit sincère.
The reason is,
la raison,
I noticed, if you don't notice, that you find a lot of people coming into this church. And then they come in, one Sunday, second Sunday, third Sunday, you see them, and then the fourth Sunday they disappear. And you find out that a lot of programs in this church have little or I would say embarrassing attendance. Some people will be aware of the program 2 months, 3 months before the program. But on the day of the program, they tell you they forgot. Some will have alerts, messages sent to them. They will be very much aware, but still, they will tell you they forgot. There are a lot of programs. If they are social, we try to adjust our time and attend them. You have a party, whatever, we bend our time, we bend ourselves, we sacrifice to attend them. But if we have a spiritual program, then we remember that we have a shift. That is when we have to be at work. So I think this is a big problem that is affecting the church.
C'est un grand problème qui affecte l'Église.
I want us to be very open and very
Et je veux
frank.
que tout le monde soit ouvert et franc.
Is there anything we are expecting from the church
Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qu'on
or
attend
from
de
the people
l'Église
that is reducing our desire
qui est en train de réduire
to come to
notre
church?
désir
So maybe we'll start by even
de
asking
venir à
ourselves,
l'Église? On va commencer par se poser la question.
does church coming make you godly?
Est-ce que venir à l'Église vous rend divin?
Are we coming because somebody feels like, look, if there's nobody in the church, I feel bad?
Parce que s'il y a quelqu'un, il n'y a personne à l'église.
That's all. Are we trying to make somebody happy by coming?
Est-ce qu'on rend quelqu'un heureux en venant à l'église?
Sometimes we even come to the church
Des fois on vient à l'église.
and then we find a gist partner and we gist throughout. So we need to ask ourselves this question.
On va se poser la question.
Why are we coming to church? Because
Pourquoi on vient à l'église?
if I'm coming to church just to come and meet friends and
Si je viens à
socialize,
l'église pour
it defeats the whole purpose of church going.
Ça réduit vraiment le but.
So I think we should talk to ourselves
On doit se parler
and expose ourselves this morning.
et nous exposer aujourd'hui.
And I expect us to be courteous with our contribution.
Je m'attends à ce que les contributions soient brèves.
No finger pointing, please.
Pas de
judge. So, if you can have a contribution, what exactly? I have to start you with
I can say categorically that there isn't anything, because I've heard different things
entendu beaucoup de choses
at one point or the other. There isn't anything that the church is supposed to provide that the church is not trying to provide. I use the word trying in the sense that I've seen pastor come up on the pulpit, ask us, oh, okay, what do you think? Is there a reason there was questionnaire for DND? And I would actually want to ask this question very, very sincerely. And it goes back to what you said. Why? Why are we here?
Pourquoi nous sommes ici?
Why are we here? Especially as children. I remember that Dupa used to say something. When I'm coming to church, I have expectation. Do you have expectation? Or you're just following daddy and mommy to come to church? I'm not talking of only adults. For my mom, you said she's not here now, but she was a staunch Catholic. And so when I gave my life to Christ, it was a problem. You are not going anywhere. That was her answer. Today, she's an elder in Redeem. Praise the Lord. As a youth, as a child, we can make our parents want to know God. And as parents too, if maybe for us, church is just to come on Sunday. Let's dig in deep. Why do we study the Bible? You know, in life, the reason of purpose is very crucial. Why am I doing this? Is it because I want to make heaven? Or because I just want to come to church? Praise the name of the Lord. Many platforms, hour of glory, this one, that one. And the question we should ask ourselves, the book of God was speaking to the children of Israel. And he said, be very careful that when you are fat and flourishing, when you get to this land, be careful that you do not forget your God. Sometimes we need to really ask ourselves, is it that I have made the dollar my God? Praise the name of the Lord.
Those that have not spoken will take precedence over anyone that has contributed before. You have. Okay, please make it quick.
Hallelujah. I think one of the purposes I personally comes to church is to recreate my soul before God. Because if you are in church of God and you are unable to see yourself before God, the position where you are, then you're coming to church. I think it's a question we need to answer. But for me, for you to recreate yourself before God, to know where you are, if you have been derailed or you are on the right path that you are supposed to be, one of the purposes that we have to follow.
Please keep it quick so we can take more people. Over there, please. Yes.
Well, we think, praise the Lord. I think I will go in a different direction. It is important we also realize that sometimes you ask the question, why is it that maybe we're not able to retain people? I'll be honest with you, sometimes I think we over-spiritualize church. And what do I mean? Now, church is supposed to be a fellowship of the saints. But it doesn't mean that's the only reason. That's not the only reason I come to church. Sometimes fellowshipping with people and seeing people of like mind is also a reason I come to church, apart from coming to worship God. Because it's a two-sided of an argument. I could as well tell you I can worship God in my house. I don't need to come to church if that's all I'm here to do. And I could create that relationship with God as well in my house. I don't need any other person to do that, since I'm even running the race alone. But you come to church to sharpen yourself, to recreate yourself, and sometimes the social aspect of church also matters. It's supposed to be a social network against, sort of insulate you against the world. Now, maybe we need to do some other programs. Like, for instance, I would not necessarily say we have to, our kids cannot go for sports and all that. Maybe another way to go about it, maybe we need to intensify house fellowship so that we can catch that area that is missing if they go for the sports. We have to be strategic about this. And I hear everybody saying Nigeria, Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. Trying to say let's solve it thinking about Nigeria is a folly. We're not going to solve that problem. This is not Nigeria. There's no youth and sport development in Nigeria. There's no urban development. It's missing. So coming to say if it's Nigeria, it's not Nigeria. And you can either handicap your kids or be strategic about it. Someone mentioned wisdom. We need to pray for wisdom. So maybe we need to have strategic committees trying to do some of these issues and say maybe we need more social programs, maybe we need more house fellowship. Because if people come to church 1 minute and maybe the person has immigration problem and has other problem, cannot eat, and you are talking about kingdom of God, he's not thinking of the kingdom of God, he's thinking about his immediate problem. And that is the practical way church has to try and come in.
Praise the Lord. Let's have Rocky sleep. Very quick, please. Praise the Lord.
One thing we have to do is that visitation. You see, some people have problems. They don't know. How many of us, how do we visit each other? Most people here don't know my house. And I don't know some of their house. How do we do it? If you don't know that churches in Montreal here, that visitation, there are some new immigrants. You know, they will come once here, they will go, nobody asks of them. Nobody asks them how they feel it. Sometimes you have leftover food at home. You give it to these people, they won't leave your church. They will start coming. Everybody have a problem. Nobody has a problem. Everybody coming on Sunday, we dress up, everybody go. Everybody have if we can visit, even when we do house fellowship, sometimes I go to my house, nobody wants to come. Oh, let's go to this one's house, they don't want to come. What kind of relationship? Nobody wants to come to church. Nobody is friendly. Or the first time you come, the kind of attitude you see to people, you know, even the newcomer will come, before you know what's happening, they will go down the story of Maranatha. He doesn't want to come.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. This is
Praise the Lord. I didn't want to contribute that because I know I'm going to offend some people. If I offend you, I'm seeking for your forgiveness. So what I just want to say is this: what is church on its own? The church, as Brother Kunle said, I should. That's his own first. He said I should mention it before I start mine. So what is church on its own? You know, the church is not just this building, me and you, and everyone here. They are the ones who make up the church. What are attitudes towards one another? How do we carry one another? How do we help one another? How do we support one another? If I come to church, and what I want to get from church, I want to get. Now, listen, not just Maranatha. Oh, so many churches here have been affected by the same thing. If I come to church and I don't get what I want to get from church, and I don't come again, what is the value the church is adding to my life? If the church is not adding value to my life, and I walk out, and I not even come again, and I think that is something that is affecting so many people. When I was bereaved in this church, I did not get the support I thought I was going to get. The support I was supposed to get didn't come from the church. The support I got came from outside the church. Now, if at that point, at that moment, I kind of shift away from the church, and I actually shifted away from the church. Now, I'm not talking about the support of money or whatever. Support I'm talking about is how the people carry me along on the river. You will just see one or two people. And then you think that's one or two people that make up the church? We have many people in the church. I don't think that that's all true is, and people don't even care. They don't even feel that they don't even feel like I exist. Is that church? What value am I getting from the church? Everybody comes to church as an expectation. I don't want to come to church and then there is no value. What is my brother adding to my life? What am I adding to my brother's life? What is my sister adding to my life? What am I adding to my sister's life? I'll give you a brief example. I went to a church just for a Sunday, first timer. And this church has been following me for the past 3 years. No, 2 years. They will not stop up till today. Are we following people that way? Don't we just give up after 2 or 3 times? 2 or 3 trials and we up till today I still see their news. They still invite me for their programs, everything. But I just keep saying it. How many of us go to visit one another? How many of us are bothered about what is happening to the other person? Do we care? We are only left it to the pastor and the pastor's wife. Let them deal with it. Do we care about one another? And that is the problem that not only Maranatha Chapel, but the Church of God in general is having. If we can just go back to the manual, this is our manual for today. And look at the way the church of the Acts of the Apostles was being, how they directed that church, how people lived together with one another. Your problem was my problem then. My sister's problem was my problem. Our joy was my joy. Then we will go back to not backbiting. If the only thing we do, we backbite. We talk about one another. Even if you share your problem with somebody, be sure that problem will be all over Montreal before you know what is happening. And that is why some people cannot even share their problems with you. Because they are scared that the next time they will hear about that is from somebody they don't even know. Somebody will tell somebody, that person will tell another person. We are not carrying ourselves. We are not hearing one another's story. And that is why people are leaving the church. People who are leaving the church are not necessarily going to another church. Some people have not decided to sit down and say, if I can add value to my brother's life, if my brother can add value to my life, then we will see the attendance will be.
Praise the Lord.
There will be a change in attendance.
This brother. Keep it very quick, please.
Praise the Lord. I don't expect this to be a practice or to try to castigate ourselves. Because this is my 4th Sunday in this church. And I'm surprised none of the persons who have spoken that the church is doing anything has actually asked me what's your name. So it's just like it's like I'm not saying that anyone.
As I said, we are not directing.
Yes, we are not castigating ourselves. Yes, we are not castigating ourselves. It's just to help us. You know, like our sister said, the Bible says in the church in the Acts of Apostles, they had everything in common. And the Bible says the church grew daily. You know, the church grew daily, and the Lord added to them, but not many things in wrong. Now, the fact you also have to realize is, it's not everyone who leaves the church that the church can do anything about. There are some people, even if you cut your head, cut your feet, Judas was there, he left Jesus. But at least let's be seen to be doing our best with our need. I mean, I'm a medical doctor, and I know man is made of 3 components: the body, the soul, and the spirit. So the church should find a device to address these 3 components, and people be encouraged to come. And we should also not, that is not also to encourage infancy. Nobody should give an excuse that because they are not doing this, and this, I'm not going to church. We should also encourage people, you have to be strong, you are not going to church to meet man. But that should also not make us not do what we should do.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I think what our sister said and is really very important. We come to church and many times we try to laugh and smile at each other, but that friendship is very, very superficial. It ends like this. And when you go home, everybody is on their own. I just wanted to emphasize what they said. It's important that we try to build good relationship, with people outside the church. Somebody doesn't go to church this Sunday. It's good that we try to reach out to that person and know why the person couldn't come. It happens. Our sister at some point did not come, and I was curious. I asked the head of the why the state did not come. Eventually, she was late. She came back. At the time, this woman with the twins did not come, and I wanted to know why. I don't know if you do that. Sometimes I don't come to church, and nobody comes here, you know why. I think it is good that we try to build that relationship with each other and
let's have a
Praise the Lord. Anytime I hear things like this, it just kind of baffles me. It's very easy for each and every one of us to say our own side of the story. But this is the question: you as a person, what are you doing? Not what the other person is doing, but what are you doing? Because 2 wrongs can never make it right? So if you know the truth, the Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If you know the truth, if you know how the old apostle practiced it and it worked for them, if you know, then put it into practice. Do not wait for anybody. Do not wait for the pastor to preach it. Do not wait for the other person to do it to you. But pick up the mantle and do it first. Let people see you doing it. Affect people's life by you doing it. Let them see it in you and pick it up from there. But I think the problem is that we are waiting on each other. We are waiting on each other. That's one point. Another point is that, when we are talking about church, just like she said, we are not talking about the building. And I think as a child of God, our expectation should be beyond what my brother did to me, what my sister did to me. The goal and the aim should be heaven. I will talk on a personal level. Okay, I never thought about, what has she done to me? Has he called me? Because I don't even have that mindset. I never had that mindset that, I'm going to church to see how they will receive me, or maybe if I'm not in church, somebody will call me, or this or that. You understand? But that doesn't stop me from doing what I think is good. And another point is this: there's nobody on this surface of earth that can satisfy everybody. Even our Lord Jesus Christ cannot satisfy, was unable to satisfy the whole world. Okay? Even him giving himself for the world. Some people are still against him. So as a child of God, we know that we are more grown up than each other. But the problem is that we look at each other as if we are at the same level. No. If God has given you the grace, if you have received the grace, and you know that the grace of the Lord is upon you to fulfill people, I know we have a visitation department, okay, in this church. But still that doesn't stop me. I'm talking about myself now. And that doesn't mean that I'm receiving what I'm doing back from people. You understand what I'm saying? But that doesn't stop me because I know that that is the truth. But this is one thing that I've learned in the course of time. Like some people, you really want to get closer to them. But the more you get closer to them, the more they draw back. You understand? Now, and you can sense it. Like for example, I will tell you, some people are not in church. I will call like several times, non-stop. They will see your missed call, they will see your text messages, they will never reply. What are you supposed to do in that situation? Wait. So, being that was even before I became the women coordinator or whatever. When I became women coordinator, I saw a lot of things. But still, that was because that is just me, naturally. The thing is that, like I said, if you have received the grace, just go ahead and do it. And you have to understand one thing, that we are all human. You are waiting to receive a perfect answer or perfect solution from a human. You have failed already. That is a fact. If your expectation for the church is higher than the church itself, then you can never be satisfied. That's why we have some people that are gifted in one area than the other. So if you are gifted in that area, please keep it up. Keep it up, because as far as I'm concerned, even some people are not in church right now. But I know, going by my record, times I will ask for the pastor, I said, this person, I've not seen her in church for so long. Did you know anything about her? Because some people, maybe they move and we don't get the information. But I will still be calling, I will still be texting, I will still be sending messages. But the thing is, I think, but the thing is, if they don't respond, how do you know? How do you know? And some, for the purpose, okay, if somebody moved, okay, they are not supposed to be receiving emails or stuff like that. So we really want to know. But some will be telling you, oh, his work, they will tell other person, oh, he's this, they will tell other person, so what are you doing? So I would think, before we say, maybe we are not receiving this or the church is not doing this, let's first think about what have I done to the church. What have I done? And again, I'm sorry, I just have to say this. I have to say this, okay? And again, yes, I have to say this. And again, people will say that, okay, now I forgot. And it's very important. What I wanted to say is very important, okay? And some people will say like, because this excuse is not about something that is just happening now, okay? I'm telling you, and the truth of the matter, we're talking about visitation, we're talking about this. How many people have you taken the responsibility upon yourself to go and visit? Have you taken that responsibility upon yourself to go and visit somebody before saying that somebody did not come to visit you? So that is the reason the Bible says we should look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Not to the pastor, not to the deacon, not to your friend, because your best of friend now can let you down in the next 5 seconds. I'm telling you. And in the church, please sir, in the church we have some categories of people that they call themselves the best of friends. Okay, you see them together, they flock together. That's why I don't want to be associated with any kind of group. Because one thing that is very sure is that most, I will tell you, 99.9% of the time, what brings them together is what scatters them. So the best thing is to look unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of your faith.
Thank you all for your it is very important that we know where we are from and we know where we are going. But what I want us to note this afternoon is that God's expectation for us is that we be practical Christians. When you look at Jesus Christ, he started with 12. Then all the disciples, they grew to 70 to 100, and then to what we have today. And what is Jesus doing? He will send them out. The Bible says he will send out the 70, he will send out the 100 to go minister to people. And that is to make them practical in what he has taught them. And these disciples, they go out and make impact, and that is why we are where we are today. It's because people have responded to the call of God upon their life. They were practical. They were not waiting for Jesus. And that is why the church has grown even up to this time. Many of us here this morning, we expect too much from the pastorate. And the pastorate cannot do the work of the church alone. Every one of you here are called to be fishers of men. When you look at the Bible, the book of Matthew 28, from verse 19 downward, Jesus did not send the pastor out. He did not send the ministers out. He sent everyone that believes in him out. That is, become a practical Christian. Learn to care for your brothers and your sisters. It is just simple and straightforward. It's not only the pastor that has to do that. Every one of us has to show love to one another. There is one thing that is lacking, and that is the love of God. The love of God is still absent in our lives. If the love of God is present in our life, nobody needs to push us or ask us to do this. It will be natural in our life, in our ways. And that is how it's supposed to be. For the pastor, for the ministers, it is natural and they try to do as much as they can, but they can't do all. And that is why every one of us owes it a responsibility to check on one another, check on the newcomer, and embrace the new members when they come. Oh, what are you? Who are you? Where do you live? Phone number, and follow up with them, not because you need anything from them, but because you are trying to be practical in your Christianity. They love them in the name of Jesus.
Okay, on that note, I think we'll have to end it. We are out of time. The bottom line for in this discussion is, for me, I think I have not gotten the full answer to this question, because I still wonder why even us that we are talking here, we don't show up for a lot of programs. And that reason, we only us know the reason, and God knows the reason. But I think we should always try to, as much as possible, to be lovers of one another. Let's follow up, like Pastor said, on each other. Because I know another chapel we have there, whenever they have a program, I notice that they keep sending text messages, calling themselves, are you going for this program, are you going for this program? And they form a small community within the church. And you find out that they talk of, there was a program we had here some time ago, and we had more members from other parishes here than even the members in this church. And I realized that these people move in groups. When you see them together in the church, if you have a social event, you see them together in the social event. They are always together. They communicate and they are closely bonded. And when they came here, I realized that they had sent messages to each other. Are you going? Are you coming? Are you going? Are you coming? And they all came here. And there was actually nobody from this church. I mean, maybe one person or two from this church. So I think we should work harder on our relationship with each other. And God will help us. Thanks to everybody that's contributed. And I hope we all benefited from
Hallelujah. If it's for the pastor, it's not even enough. Praise the Lord. Let the victors praise the Lord. Are we guilty or are we convicted, or are we blessed, or are we transformed, or are we renewed? So what can we say we gained today? Are we transformed? Are we renewed? Are we blessed? Have we been able to see what is missing in our Christian journey? I pray that God will make us practical Christian in the name of Jesus. Because many of us are superficial, that's why we are where we are. We need to be practical in what we are doing. And the Lord will help us in the name of Jesus. The